everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. We lost our last run, but we were the lost in our last run, so that's acceptable. 7C3J Bezeals. There's gotta be something. Jeff Bezeals? Something like that. There's a joke. Look, I've been making these videos for a long time. Am I really supposed to make jokes continually for the rest of my life? That seems like an awful lot of work. What's the average retirement age in North America? 28? I'm past it already. Here, close this, close this. Steam has finished downloading Hold Fast Nations at War to make an appearance on today's Northernlion Live Super Show, but I digress. We're playing the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus right now. What's our game plan? Well, largely, again, we're trying to get Mega Satan or Delirium. So we're hoping for either an amazing deal with the devil or a trash deal with the devil. Ooh, I mean, you gotta. Why are we hoping for an amazing or a trash deal with the devil? An amazing deal with the devil gives us a good chance at Delirium. A trash deal with the devil is easy to skip. And if we can skip a trash deal with the devil, that gives us a chance to get a deal with the angel and pursue our Mega Satan ambitions. So we got different ways that we can handle this. I think that having Omega Penny is really good. We already used it to get a reroll on our donation machine, or reroll machine in our item room, but obviously we're looking for something like a little bit greater than that, if at all possible. We still want to reroll our item room, because we just need our item room to be better than it presently is. And honestly, using the Omega Penny just to try to double or quadruple consumables actually seems like maybe an avenue that I haven't pursued in the past that might actually be relatively worthwhile. Because always I go through this and I try to double an item that's decent, and then it doesn't double, it just gets erased, and then I feel bad. Or I try to double an item that's trash, and it just becomes two trash items. Like, I can't hold two spacebar items, especially if they're the same. No backpack on Earth, you know, a Herschel or otherwise would allow us to do that. That's the name of the trendy backpack, right? I don't know. I own one, but I don't look at my own back when I'm wearing it, so as a result... That's right, I wear a backpack. You know who else wore a backpack? George Washington, when he crossed the Delaware. Don't question things you know to be true. Backpacks, I caught a lot of flack, well, a little bit of flack, for wearing a backpack. Not in real life, because don't you dare criticize me to my face, I will step to you. But in Twitch chat, where everybody is 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Thank you, Jacob's Ladder. Said, wow, NL wears a backpack. Lol. I gotta be honest with you. If you're under the age of 40, a backpack is like the coolest way to carry something. I'm not going to my classes where I'm like sometimes the oldest person in the class by 5 years, sometimes the youngest person in the class by 30 years. I'm not going to carry a briefcase like some kind of freaking weirdo. We all knew, some of you might be the guy who carried a briefcase to your undergrad classes. I would recommend becoming not that guy as quickly as you possibly can. That's an outrageous way to handle things. Nothing wrong with a briefcase if you're a practicing attorney, a physician, etc., but if you're going to Angular 4 class, I don't know if I'd necessarily suggest that it's a high priority for you to have a briefcase. What about a messenger bag? I'll admit, they were hip for a time, but we're past that. Now it looks like some weird Indiana Jones stuff, and I'm not trying to insult you if you use one. If you are a bike messenger, or you work at the post office, by all means. But we're kind of passing it. I'm not saying it's quite in Fedora territory yet, I'm just saying that, you know, it's exploring the Fedora territory. It's a Fedora the Explorer. I guess at this point, I'm actually hoping for a trash deal with the devil because the item is amazing, or the run is amazing so far. We could die here. We probably won't because Jacob's Ladder is incredible. Watch out. He's got brimstone that's angled. Not to be confused with Brimstone, that's Angular. DAE, Google's JavaScript for okay. Don't care about doubling that at all. You know what? I was just gonna say, that's the way we use Omega Penny, is we try to double items on deals with the devil while preserving our deal with the devil. And that was a no-brainer choice there. I mean, we got lucky that it worked, but at the same time, like, we're also completely okay just taking a free Sister Maggie. This is actually a really good get for us. On average, we'll only be able to accept half the deals with the devil by doing this, but, I mean, it's better than none. Balls of Steel. Yeah, I think we're feeling pretty good here. All I'm saying is, as an adult male, you run into sort of a double loot of each. I don't think we want Ludo at all. Maybe we want Ludo. I took it because I was like, there's got to be some sort of synergy going on with Ludo, Jacob's Ladder. Like, we still have electricity going after it. Or going around it, I should say. But, like, how do you carry documents as an adult male? Everybody, you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. Oh, no, Ludo is actually incredible here. I think we're in a very, very good spot. I've carried documents in the interior pocket of my jacket. It makes me feel like I'm a spy from the 1960s. I've used a messenger bag. I've used a backpack. I think I'm a backpack guy, honestly. As long as you take it off on the subway, don't inconvenience other people, it's a win-win situation. What you cannot do when you're over the age of 16, though, you can't one-strap it. And then, it sounds like it has a dirty connotation, but you can't roll a one-strap style on your backpack. If you do, it shows a commitment to being cool past the point where being cool is cool. You've made a terrible mistake. Range up is irrelevant right now. Ooh, but this is really good. We're gonna get Bookworm, which I think does have an impact. Yeah, look at it. Occasionally there's an extra shot coming out that looks super weird. I'm not using Book of Revelations, by the way, because I don't think I really care much about getting an orbital. As soon as we make contact with something, we create this electricity. We need, or would benefit from increased shot speed. That's like a no-brainer right now, but I think that we're actually really, really well equipped to handle this run, as long as we don't die like a fool. Please. Yeah, probably I would make an effort not to open that. We're gonna fly by the seat of our pants on this run. I'm not guaranteeing any particular degree of success, especially because we're trying to fight probably the two most difficult bosses in the game. However, and we can't do both of them on the same run. That's just the honest to goodness truth. But if there was ever an item that could make it work, Jacob's Ladder is definitely up there. I mean, of course, if there was ever an item to make it work, it would be like, you know, Mom's Knife, Brimstone, etc., etc. But if there were ever many items that could make it work, one of them might be Jacob's Ladder. I don't know. The jury's still kind of out. We have no bombs. In fact, that's a great wake-up call to tell us we should not go to the boss fight yet. Now we have 2 bombs. Now we have no bombs. That was very stupid, but in my head, you gotta realize that I thought to myself, why would you want 2 bombs when you could have 4 bombs? The thing is, we can always go to the shop. We'll have a decent chance to get bombs in there regardless. We haven't even been to our item room yet. There's battery charges for Omega Penny. Like, there's a few outs that could give us more bombs. But I shouldn't have rerolled 2, or attempted to double 2. Emperor. Bouncy ball. I don't think the rubber ball does anything with our present item configuration. I don't think Blister does either. I think Blister's increased knockback, so essentially nothing of value. I think that this run might actually excel at, that's really good, killing enemies that are really tanky. Because it'll just give us an extended kind of, mean, I think you go Locust of Pestilence. It gives you kind of an extended use of Jacob's Ladder. Like, Jacob's Ladder is going to be going off all the time, which is going to be a really huge damage bonus, but we'll see. Black Candle's worth it. I think we now have a bomb, and I used a bomb to get nothing. Brain, you're going to have to chill out a little bit here. You're making some dubious plays. The flies via the trinket are going to be pretty great for us as we move forward. But you never know on a run like this. Anything can go wrong. I don't like the expression people sometimes use. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I guess it's productive. 2 headless babies wouldn't have been the worst idea to attempt for, I guess. But, you know, if you're a civil engineer and you're building a bridge, or you're notarizing some plans that have been given to you by the city, probably a good idea to live in that mindset. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And you're like, oh, what if it rains and snows in the same day, and then the sleet weight is blah blah, and the tolerance of the bridge? You know what? That's the kind of thinking that helps. Oh, we have one more item room, actually. That's the kind of thinking that helps prevent disasters. But if you work at a Firehouse Subs or a Jersey Mike's or something like that, I think it's just an attitude that's liable to lead to a certain degree of mental health anguish. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong. What do you mean? We're gonna run out of light mayo? Have to give people regular mayo without them realizing that we're slightly sabotaging their dietary plans? You know what actually boggles my mind? And I'm being serious with this. I have very pedestrian ambitions and things that apparently tickle my intellectual fancy. I probably shouldn't have tried that one, but it was fine in the end. You know, I very rarely have gone to a restaurant and have it be out of something. Like, it happens so rarely, and I eat so late, that it just strikes me as like, are these places all extremely well managed? Or do they all throw out like hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of food every night? Or is maybe that part of being well managed? Because you ever go to like a Red Robin or something like that at 10 p.m.? We'll take it. By the way, have any of you ever lived, i.e. gone to a Red Robin at 10 p.m.? The menu is like 80 items long. Most of it is just variations on a theme. You know, it's the Jack Daniels burger. It's the Jim Beam burger. It's the Bullet Bourbon burger. You know, it's all a lot of the same. But like, even if you went in there, I guarantee if you went in at like 10:59 p.m. and it was open till 11, and you went, hey, can I have the lobster mac and cheese? They would be like, yeah. We got an infinite supply of lobster in the back. Those of you who work on the supply side of this industry, how do they make that happen? Sometimes I'm one person. I wake up and my traditional breakfast lately, slice an English muffin in half, cut 2 pieces of Canadian bacon off of this slab, fry them up in the frying pan, and then I'm good to go. Make a little pseudo-breakfast Canadian bacon sandwich. Sometimes I get my own supply wrong, despite the fact that I'm just one man making one breakfast that's, you know, relatively not resource intensive. How do you do this if you don't even understand? It could be the lobster fans at youtube.com/lobsterfans coming in. I think we want the mind here. They're gonna take 100 orders of your lobster mac and cheese. How do you do it? I'm in awe of the way that the supply side of this works. Anyway, keep up the good work. I've only eaten at Red Robin once. So it was not necessarily the... Oh, I got hit. Not necessarily the best version of that analogy. But check it out, we're crushing it. We just got a key piece. Now that we have the mind and Black Candle, we will always know exactly where we need to go on a run, which is extremely valuable. Next thing we need, and hopefully we can make it happen on this floor, but the next thing we need is speed. We're starting to crush these rooms in a decent time frame, but could use some speed. That is the opposite of speed. And it is also not a Perthrow rune, so I'm thinking, you know, we'll see if maybe we can get a dice shard or something like that. I don't want to just throw an item room away. I did not get hit there, thank God. What do you think about this? There's a decent chance we can get like a rune out of one of these. Double the rune or double the card. We should see what the card is. Is it better to pick it or double it? I think it's better to literally use it like straight away. And then for 7 cents, I will take more options and then go for a reroll. Keep in mind, we could double things for free in here. If we get lucky. Like, we don't really care about these items right now, which is why I'm not making much of an effort to get them. This is probably going to explode. This is what we want. So, I think I mean, restock is only valuable if we end up going for Delirium. Nun's Habit is not valuable at all in this situation. Okay. We tried. I could have used a... we verped. A1 makes you small pill. I don't think we want to get smaller, honestly. I think we want to leave so we have a chance at boss rush. And I'll just say no thank you to Lard there. I will check our second secret room super quickly. And we got pretty lucky. And we'll leave. Okay, this is good. I don't understand how, like, a lot of businesses work. And people are gonna laugh at that. Ooh, you know, small problems for small minds. But neither do you. Like, if you've worked for 40 years as the general manager of a Walmart, you know the ins and outs of the business way more than I could expect to just from walking in. How big-headed do you have to be to walk into a Walmart and then be like, oh, I understand how this works? My 11th grade sociology teacher gave me a 10-minute lecture on this, and I've got it all sorted out. All I know about Walmart's business model is folding the franchise if anybody ever attempts to unionize, which is a business strategy that I use immensely in the NLSS. That's why we're always mixing up co-hosts in the union bylaws. If you're ever on more than 2 shows a week, I have to pay you, like I have to insure one body part of your choice. You know how Jennifer Lopez had her butt insured? That's, it's written into the contracts and bylaws. You wouldn't understand. It's all very businessy. It's all important business people such as myself and other people have worked on it. And it's, again, you wouldn't understand. In this case, man, this is a tough call. Because both of these are good and bad in their own unique ways. Taurus is extra invincibility. That's so good. But it also is a speed down. That's so bad. That's the reason we didn't take Lard just a moment ago. I don't think there was anything we really wanted there. Truth be told, we could have used Ventricular Razor to steal an item out of Boss Rush, but... I just realized, by the way, we still have 3.5 damage. Good God. That's horrible. Let's look for a teleport card. And I might want to hit that double key room up there. I don't know what it offers yet, but... starting to think that our stats might be a little bit jacked here. See, that's extremely great. An Algiz rune we can't really afford to get rid of. We don't need strength. It's not bad, but we don't need it. Algiz is like, you have to take it. Very modest speed downgrade. Essentially means we absolutely have to avoid Taurus. I think what we want to do is take one quad shot. And save our other alternative, or our spacebar item here, Omega Penny. Because I don't think quad shot is necessarily going to be great, but if it halves, or let me put it this way, it didn't, but if it quarters our rate of fire, but it produces 4 times as much electricity on hit, then that's worth it. I would say. And look at that. I think we're reaping the benefits here. So this would be a really excellent time for us to get a deal with the Angel and cement our Mega Satan plays, because our stats are okay now, except for speed. But they're certainly not so great that I'm like, oh, we're guaranteed going to beat Delirium. Algiz would help. But Mega Satan, I'm not going to say walk in the park, but pretty easy get here. I think we'll take the Polaroid. We'll take a look at this, but I really... Yeah, I doubt maybe Monstro's Lung could be worth it. We're going to head down here. I'm going to say... I'm going to go over here. I'm going to talk to Robert. Because we're starting the NLSS at some point here. Just give him a ping. We got plenty of time. I'm just giving him a ping to let him know, hey, if you would like to be on the show today, I acquiesce to your docket suggestion. We can do that. Try it out. But I'm not playing Jedi Academy. I still haven't seen the new Star Wars. I don't want to spoil it. That's actually a joke in two different directions. Because... Well, I mean, I still have not seen the new Star Wars, but obviously Jedi Academy from 2004 has no spoilers for Rian Johnson's magnum opus, The Last Jedi. However, beyond that, I also read the Star Wars spoilers the day that the movie came out. And people sometimes, when I say things like that, they get mad at me. They say, I hate so many things about the way that you choose to be. Why are you mad about me reading spoilers? I'll tell you for a couple of reasons why I read the spoilers. The big one is that I want to know what happens in the story, but, you know, it's plausible that I might not see that movie for another 6 months, but I kind of want to stay abreast of the situation, see what's going on in the world of the Star Wars. So I read the spoilers. The other one is, I usually forget spoilers after I read them until about 10 seconds before they happen in a movie. I read the spoiler, and then later I go, wait a minute, did I read online that Admiral Akbar eats a chicken sandwich in this little vignette? And then I go, oh, that's right. So most of the time it preserves a certain sense of newness for me. But then beyond that, I also work on the internet. And I'm like, if I don't spoil it for myself, it's probably going to get spoiled for me regardless. So I might as well just spoil it for myself. And that might sound like quiet resignation, but I don't really see it that way. I see it much more like that's just the convenient work-related excuse for me to do what I was going to do anyway. I don't see it as a sign of, like, weirdness to spoil a movie before I see it, you know? I already know what happens in Empire Strikes Back. I still watch it every now and then because it's a fantastic film. Stop this. Moreover, I saw some people on Twitter, and I don't know, this is, I am a curmudgeon to some extent. Like, there's a Northernlion character that it's an exaggerated version of myself, without a doubt. This is our Mega Satan ticket, by the way. But I am also a curmudgeon to some extent. I take this YouTube and Twitch stuff seriously. It's my job. I do it like a job. I saw people on Twitter be like, hey, I know it's my day to stream, but... Thanks for the penny. I can't stream today because I'm worried about Star Wars getting spoiled for me, so I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, you can do that? Like, that's... I think that's how you know you got it made. You know, imagine if you were like a roofer or something like that. And you were like, hey boss, can't come in today. Star Wars came out. No, I'm not going to see it. I'm just worried that someone who has seen it will spoil it for me. And you would be right, by the way, if you suggested that that is a false dilemma. Because it is different to work as a, you know, a roofer, where you might hang out with like 5 or 6 of your friends, versus streaming, where anybody trolling could just come in and spoil the movie for you in like a heartbeat. But at the same time, I think, you know, I respect and a lot of people, I think, you know, what's interesting about being in this industry for a relatively long time, as far as, you know, the fact that it's only recently started to even exist, is a thing, is that you see people that are like, you know, they're in love with the job, and then they do it more, and they sort of grow to resent it, and they hate it, and there's many reasons why I think that they vary between legitimate and illegitimate, because it really is, in terms of the duties and responsibilities, it's a dream job. Some of the stuff that comes with it is a little annoying, you know, constantly living your life. Not necessarily in the public eye like you're some kind of super celebrity, but having like every action you do open to anonymous criticism from the internet can take a toll on people mentally, some people more than others, and people at different times of their lives more than others as well. But I still definitely wake up in the morning and go like, this is the greatest job of all time. So I think I want to punish myself for having it. There's something deep and flawed within my psychology where when somebody takes a day off to avoid Star Wars spoilers, I'm like, You don't deserve this job as much as I do. Which is a bad habit for me, without a doubt. But it's a bad habit that might win me some decent PR until I completely pulled the veil back. I had to use alges there. Trust me, I wouldn't have wanted to have done that, but I think it's... I would rather have the peace of mind that we're definitely not going to die. No deal. We're going up to the cathedral. We got a real chance here. I'm feeling good. It's not that I'm ragging on other content creators. I mean that sincerely. But I'm kind of like, I don't know. Especially as the Twitch following has grown, I feel almost like a greater sense of, and it's gonna sound funny, but I feel a greater sense of duty to continue to meet the responsibilities that I've set out. I don't know, maybe we should try to double these? Problem solved. And I don't mean to suggest that it's like I'm working as a firefighter or a police officer or something like that. But, you know, I said I'm gonna be here at X time for this long on these days of the week. People, they haven't built their schedules around it necessarily, but they know, hey, you know, they wake up, do a little work, and they look forward to being able to watch the show that's part of their routine at this time, etc., etc., etc. And I feel the same way because I've been watching a lot more Twitch myself. That, you know, if I know, you know, Corey streams all the time. So I'm going to use him as an example, because it's the opposite of throwing him under the bus. If anything, it's good press. But, you know, Corey streams every night at 10 p.m. If I go to Twitch and it's 10:45 and he's not online, I get a little bit, like, not upset, but more like, oh, well, I guess I gotta do something else now, you know? So to take a day off because you're worried about a Star Wars movie getting spoiled. Like, I don't know if Star Wars is like your whole life. I guess it means something, but I definitely should have used the Emperor card on this floor, by the way. In the end, it worked out just fine, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of... Of course, I don't want anybody to get the movie spoiled for them. There's no question about it. However, I kind of also take it as like, you know, it's one of the quirks of doing this job where people watch you play video games is that someone might jump in chat and be like, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time, got him. Like, you gotta take the good with the bad. And to kind of hurt your viewers, your audience that supports you by prioritizing Star Wars spoilers above them is a little... I find it backwards, but maybe I'm backwards. What do you think happens if we take Hemolacria here? I gotta know. I also want to see what the pills do, but... One makes you small, and it tears up, which doesn't work. Let's see. That seems excellent. I'm going, and... You may well dispute... I think we might have screwed our run again. If we land a direct hit, it does outrageous damage. You may well dispute what I'm going to do here, because I have 0 luck. But I think it is advisable to do what we're doing here. Because if we ever get hit and the room's not dead, we'll just use the Emperor card. I'm looking for a pill or a card that gives me some sort of invincibility or damage buff. We're still, like, pretty slow, which is nasty. What I'm getting at, I guess, right now is that I don't think there's much risk of us dying. Because if we ever get hit, we'll just use the Emperor card to escape our clutches. But there's not really much benefit to what we're doing right now, it appears, as well. Like, we don't seem to be getting a chest out of it or anything. Out of these, I think I would prefer to kill Sloth last. It's kind of hard. As you can see. Oh, man. I mean, Shoop-da-Whoop would be an okay pickup, but that's the other thing. A spacebar item that gave us, like, some sort of value would be worth something. I don't know, and now I'm like... Sometimes this happens in Isaac episodes. I'm now in this period of, like, post-commentary regret where I'm like, man, did I sell anybody out? I don't think I did. I think it's just like, you know, You can have dissenting opinions in this job. I also support people that do this job that take more time off than I do, because as much as I would love to permanently spin it that, oh, I'm here exclusively for the fans, it's largely driven by, I mean, a sense of duty, yes, that's genuine, but also the anxiety that maybe this job won't be here in like 2 years, so I'm like, you know, make hay while the sun's up. I'm in like this permanent kind of harvest mode, wondering when the winter season's gonna hit, right? So it's motivated by a certain sense of anxiety as well. So those who are able to take a little extra time off and maintain perhaps a healthier work-life balance, I admire that rather than admonish it. As long as it's for good reasons. But fudge Star Wars, though. Okay. We should have a good chance. I wouldn't give us 100% here. We do have really nice damage dealing potential. And if we ever land a direct hit on any boss, they're going down. 1 or 2 hits. But there's still some potential annoyances here. There we go. I'm saving Shoop the Whoop for phase 2, which might not be necessary. God, this low speed, dude. We can fly. We can fly. That's right. I still, to this day, do not know if Hemolacria was good or horrible. But we're still alive, so I'm inclined to say it was, at the very worst, good enough. We got very lucky there. And continue to maintain being very lucky. Greed is the most dangerous enemy right now. Hitting us with those high shot speed shots from across the map. I would say if we can make the second stage, we're probably set. Especially if we make it without having been hit once. Come on! You're torched! I don't buy it! How do you have that much HP? Okay. I think we're completely set. Completely missed with Shoop the Whoop. No! Stick with it. Stick with it. You got it. You did get hit once. You did get hit once. I wanted to pop Emperor. I was scared. We sort of have to. I hate to say it, but we do sort of have an obligation, even though the NLSS starts in 10 minutes. Mega Blast has appeared in the basement. White Baby has appeared in the basement. No, I could not. This is madness. This docket is actual madness. We got new material, but you still gotta play the hits. Or people stop buying tickets. What about a pint in there somewhere? Like a hold-faced Sonic pint. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. We have full knowledge of where enemies are. This is an extremely do as I say, not as I do sort of moment. I came up here. I don't know why I'm always under the impression that I can't do Delirium and Mega Satan in the same run, even when it's proved wrong, like, every single time. But relatively minor. In the whole scheme of mistakes I've made playing The Binding of Isaac, it's relatively minor. Black Lotus is kind of useless right now. I mean, Shoop the Whoop is kind of useless right now because one shot just nukes most rooms completely. Ah, never mind. That was a situation where Shoop the Whoop was very useful because my shot was never going to make it all the way up there. Black Bean continues to be useless. Anything that procs on hit is trash right now. Let's continue to get a move on down here. I'm just trying to run it through. What could we conceivably get to really take this run to confidence against Delirium, which is a place you don't always get on a run. Oftentimes, you'll finish a whole run, even beating Delirium, and have never been confident. An I'm Drowsy pill is an enormous help. Sure, Little Brim and piercing shots that do extra damage, I think is quite good right now, considering the way our shots are aligned, or constructed. Maybe? I don't know. They seem to pierce better now, which is actually worse for splash damage. So I think we aim to miss. Seems to be the appropriate response. Yeah, like sometimes they don't seem to create electricity, which makes me a little upset. This could very well be Delirium. It's not. It's Delirium Light. He didn't even know he was dead. So I think, like, if we land the shot on an enemy, they take more damage. If we miss the enemy, they take less. Which is normally how the way that any Isaac run works, but with Hemolacria, we were operating under different principles for certain. For a while, at least. And we're getting outrageous damage from Shoop the Whoop now. Guppy's Collar, we actually, weirdly enough, like, maybe don't even want Guppy's Collar, because, well, no, that's not true. I was gonna say if we come back to life, we're gonna be less likely to win, but that's actually just false. We have exactly the same chance, as long as you know, account for being flustered, I suppose. Don't need the hearts, so that saves us a little bit of time there. I'll tell you straight up, I do not believe that this is going to be the way to go in order to get to Delirium. Curse of the Tower is actually not bad. When I say not bad, don't confuse that with good. I'm being very literal. We can never actually take damage, and as a result, it's not bad. Because it'll never get procced. Did we already fought Mom's Heart, but It Lives was still alive. That's very strange. I didn't even know that could happen. Fairly important dodge in the middle. Good card, please? Nope. Alright. Well, we're pretty confident of the way we have to go in order to get to the mom fight. Do we know what this is?
Full health.
I said the mom fight. I don't mean the mom fight. I mean the Delirium fight, but let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks here. We're probably not going to use bombs against Delirium. So we're gonna... Rush is not the right word. We're gonna make an expedited approach. Well, this room is extremely easy with our current setup. And I really don't think we have the right stuff right now. In terms of skill, it's a wash. We could just as easily have our best performance ever as our worst performance. The run itself is strong, but I think our speed stat is too low to be considered good enough to reliably dodge those, like, instant lightning attacks out of Delirium. So, as much as I would love to see this be a guarantee, I think that the answer is we're probably gonna eat it. Sometimes you get outrageously lucky. And you catch him at, like, a weird angle, and he loses a ton of HP all at once. Is not the case thus far. Help. We're about maybe 10% of the way through. And it gets harder as the fight goes on. And we've been hit once. Don't pop the cork on the champagne just yet. Some of these Delirium shots explode, too, and it always has a chance to get me. But really, like, Sure, bad dodge, I'll give you that, but it's the 1.1 speed that's really holding us back here. Yep, that was good though, that was fine. We get another chance to fight, okay, sure. Is no concern of mine. Wonder if we get like, this is much less likely to succeed. I'm like, what if we get up real close? What if we get super far away? These are my two options. Really, we're just keeping the seat warm until Gertie Jr. decides to show up and screw us. That was not a solid dodge, and we probably got hit again in the middle there. See, this is the kind of enemy where I'm thinking, oh. Please don't. It's 158. I'm kind of thinking, like, if we don't get the... I don't even know if it's a bug, but if we don't get that insane damage where you can do, like, 40% of this dude's HP all at once, you're probably done. And we were done, but it was still a great run. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.